So in this video we're going to be dealing with The Lord of the Flies. The Lord of the Flies is an allegorical novel. Allegory is a literary device in which there is more than just the surface of the story. It has double meaning. The story has a double meaning. For example, the parable of the prodigal son from the Holy Bible has a deeper meaning than just the surface of the story. Similarly, the story of the Lord of the Flies also has a parallel meaning, a deeper meaning more than just the surface story or the literal meaning. Ralph represents leadership and civilization, while Piggy represents scientific and intellectual aspect of civilization, while on the other hand, Jack represents uncontrollable savagery and power hunger inside humans. And his follower Roger represents violence, brutality, and bloodthirsty nature in human civilization. Jack and Roger are the two main characters that represent the brutality and savagery of the selfish human society. Simon is a shy and solitary boy who happens to symbolize Christ himself, or the goodness of spiritualism in society. He represents religion. The little uns or the little ones symbolize the common public, while the big uns or the big ones represent the ruling class of society. Ralph and Piggy tries to protect and keep the little ones safe, and the antagonists Jack and Roger uses them for their selfish gratification to be in power. And in this process, they end up killing one of the little ones, who becomes the first one to die on the island. The little ones knew the goodness of Ralph and Piggy and their good intentions to keep them safe and secure and find the rescue. But they followed Jack and Roger to their camp in the rock castle because they were scared to oppose the ruthless Jack and wanted to eat the meat of the wild pigs to survive. This situation represents the scenario of the society where we, the public, know the good leader, but then we choose to follow the rich and powerful and choose to live under fear of these power-hungry and violent leaders for fear of their own survival. The story begins with a group of English boys crash landing on an island. At first they try to start off as civilized people, saying that after all, we are not savages, we are English, and the English are the best in everything. They assemble and hold meetings with the blowing of the conch. They also took turns to speak while holding the conch, and as time passed by, Jack became more violent and powerful and destroyed the conch, thus leading to the end of civilization and dawn of savagery. The boys started making fire by using Piggy's glasses. And while Ralph focused on keeping the fire alive on the top of the mountain to signal the passing ships for their rescue, while Jack became obsessed with hunting wild pigs or sows. They missed their chance of rescue when a ship crossed their island because Jack and his fellow hunters had abandoned the signal fire. Jack became more and more rebellious and said that they had to survive on their own and no one was coming to rescue them. And unknown to these boys, war was still going on around the island, and that parachutist fell on the island and hung on a tree. Sam and Eric, the twins who were also called Sam and Eric, saw the dead man and thought it was the beast on the island. At night they would see the corpse of the parachutist hanging on the tree and moving to and fro because of the wind, and they were very terrified of it. Jack left Ralph's leadership and formed his own hunters group with Roger, and stuck a pig's head to a stick and put it as an offering to the beast of the island. He went on to build his own place at Rock Castle, and they painted their faces with blood of the pig that they hunted. Jack's hunting group needed fire to roast the pig meat, so they went to steal Piggy's glasses. Jack and his tribe, the hunters, make a fire and dance around acting like hunting wild pig. And when they did so, Robert, one of the big guns, pretended to be the pig. The character of Robert is important because he pretends to be a pig while the other boys chant around the fire. While chanting and moving around the fire pretending to hunt wild pigs, the boys would become violent and would hit Robert. with their sticks. Percival Wamy's Madison is one of the Lelands whose character is important because this was the boy who would always get bullied by the other Lelands, and also he would have a nervous breakdown. He is also important because he introduced the idea that the beast might arrive from the sea. Roger is a member of Jack's tribe of hunters, and he was the boy who killed Piggy by rolling off a huge rock over Piggy when he came to the rock castle to ask for the return of his glasses. He also kept bullying the twins Sam and Eric until they joined Jack's hunting tribe, and he was also the boy who prepared a stick to mount Ralph's head, like Jack mounted the pig head as offering to the beast. Simon is another boy who is a shy character who loved to roam around in solitary on the island. He wanted to make sure whether the beast existed, and he found out that the thing that they were scared of was only the corpse of a parachutist hanging on a tree. And as he was returning, he saw the sow's head, or the pig head, that was mounted on a stick as offering to the beast by Jack, and that pig head was surrounded by flies. Thus comes the name the Lord of the Flies. On seeing this, he went into a dreamlike trance that the pig head was talking to him. It told him that its name was the Lord of the Flies, and it also told him that there was no other beast on the island but the beast that lies inside the boys themselves. But unfortunately, when he came to tell the boys the truth about the beast, the boys mistook him as the beast, and they charged and killed Simon, thinking he was a beast in the dark. Jack burned up the whole island, chasing and trying to smoke out Ralph to kill him. Ralph tries to run away from them and reached the beach and fell in front of the naval officer. On seeing an adult on the island, all the boys started to cry, realizing the loss of innocence inside them. The naval officer saw the island on fire and had come to check. When the boys had almost given up the hope of getting saved or getting rescued, they were now hoping to find their way back into civilization after seeing the naval officer. There is a lot of symbolism used in The Lord of the Flies. The whole novel is filled with symbolism. Some of the major symbols were Piggy's glasses. Piggy's glasses represent civility, intellectual capacity, and limits of humanity. It helps them to make fire. But in the end, when it fell into the wrong hands, it burned the whole island down. The conch. The conch symbolizes justice, law, and order. It was used to alert the boys and call them for meeting or to assemble. It also gave equal power to every individual to speak as long as they held it in their hands. But its destruction meant the end of rules and regulations, the end of law and order. The spirit of rebellion and revolt started. The destruction of the conch was also the beginning of lawlessness, stealing, disobedience and betrayal, bullying, and even murder. The sow's head, or the pig's head, represents Beelzebub of the Bible. According to the Bible, a pig's head or a pig is used to symbolize the Beelzebub, the devil. It is the devil himself incarnated inside the boys by turning them into savages. It awoke mankind's essential illness, the sinful nature of mankind. According to the novelist William Goldings, humans are a component of good and evil, and there is sin or evil in every human. The war paint. The painting on their faces of Jack's tribesmen with the animal's blood symbolizes how the boys were ruled by fear. They paint their face to disguise their fear and hide the fear of the beast that is in their heart. The uncontrolled fire. The uncontrolled fire symbolizes or signifies how the evil savagery in the boys became uncontrollable. The irony here is that when the fire was controlled, it was supposed to signal for their rescue, but it became a signal for their rescue only when it became uncontrollable and a destruction to the island. Piggy's never growing hair Piggy was the only boy whose hair never seemed to grow. It somehow symbolizes or represents how the island never changed him. He remained civilized and tried to protect law and order, while all the other boys' hair grew longer, not only making them look like little primitive savages, but also turning them into beastly savagery. Now, the two main characters in this novel are Ralph and Jack. Ralph signifies civilization. He does not like killing animals. He, along with Piggy, built shelter for the boys. Ralph was elected as the leader in the beginning. He divided work among the boys. Jack and some of the boys were given the charge of hunting for food, hunting pigs, while Sam and Eric, the twins, were kept in charge of keeping the fire burning on the top of the mountain to signal for rescue. He himself took charge of protecting the little ones and promised them safety and finding rescue. He was a good and kind boy. But many a times we find that he is afraid and that he lacks self-confidence, and he was always depending on Piggy's support and intellect. There was a soft side of Ralph, which made his followers lose confidence in him and turn to Jack for survival and protection. The rule of fear on the island also influences Ralph to lose his leadership. Ralph sternly believes that someday someone would find them and take them back home to safety, to civilization. On the other hand, Jack believed that there is no such thing as rescue. No one would find them, and there was no hope for rescue, and that they were on their own for survival. The only way was to learn how to live there, exist there, and learn how to survive. Jack symbolizes the evil in man. Jack symbolizes the evil in every man. Loss of innocence, savagery, violence, and lawlessness. He broke the conch, showing that he wanted to have the ultimate power and not live under any law or order. Jack brainwashed the boys that only he could kill the beast because he was not afraid to kill. By offering sacrifices to the beast in the form of a pig head, Jack introduces the worship of the beast or Beelzebub. He left Ralph's leadership and went on to build his own camp for his tribesmen in the rock castle, where he started bullying, stealing, and even killing not only the pigs but their own fellow friend Piggy. Jack introduced lawlessness, fear, beast worshipping, stealing, killing, violence to survive, and hopelessness of being rescued. It is ironical to think that Jack said, "After all, we are not savages, we're English, and English are the best in everything." But throughout the novel, he is selfish, power-hungry, and turned into savagery for survival. That was a short discussion of The Lord of the Flies by William Goldings. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.